On May 12, 2018, the small town of Fernandina Beach, Florida, was rocked by the disappearance of Joleen Cummings. A loving mother of 3, Joleen was never seen leaving her workplace at Tangle's hair salon. Little did anyone know that her new coworker, a woman with 18 different aliases, was the last person to see her alive. Saturday, May 12th, was a day that began like any other at Tangle's hair salon in Fernandina Beach, Florida. Joleen Cummings, a 34-year-old hairdresser known for her vibrant energy and dedication as a mother, was scheduled to close the salon that evening. But when the doors locked at 7 p.m., it marked the beginning of a mysterious disappearance that would captivate and horrify the whole nation. The next day was an important one. It was Mother's Day and Joleen's birthday. Her absence became alarming when she failed to pick up her 3 children from her ex-husband, Jason Cummings. This was completely out of character for Joleen, who always put her children first. Jason called Joleen's mother, Ann Johnson, who contacted the police to report her missing. The investigation initially focused on retracing her last known steps and interviewing those who were close to her during her final hours at work. The case took a turn when the police discovered that Joleen was not alone at the salon. She was last seen with a relatively new employee, Jennifer Seibert, a name that, unbeknownst to Joleen and others at the time, was an alias. Jennifer, real name Kimberly Kessler, had been living a life marked by evasion and assumed identities. Her interactions with Joleen before her disappearance now painted a sinister picture, leading investigators to probe deeper into Jennifer's background. Joleen had been suspicious of her new coworker and confronted her multiple times about her past and assumed fake identity. She worked hard to find clues to expose Seibert, but her perseverance and quest for justice eventually ended her life. Initial inquiries at Tangle's hair salon revealed that Kessler had started working there just weeks before Joleen went missing. Her employment records and background checks, however, raised immediate red flags. The address and contact information she provided were fictitious. With these discrepancies, the police intensified their scrutiny, piecing together Kessler's movements around the time of Joleen's disappearance. They came to the salon on May 15th to talk to her, but as she was pulling up to the parking lot to start her workday, she immediately left. She then called the police, telling them she couldn't be part of any investigation, as she felt that her ex-boyfriend who was stalking her would find her name in the police report and go after her. Surveillance footage became a linchpin in the investigation. Cameras at the Home Depot parking lot captured Kessler parking Joleen's SUV and walking away. This footage, time-stamped in the early hours of May 13th, significantly narrowed the timeline of Joleen's disappearance. Further investigation revealed more footage of Kessler purchasing cleaning supplies, gloves, and an electric carving knife at a local Walmart, suggesting a premeditated effort to cover up a crime. The search at the salon where both women worked turned into a major breakthrough. Using luminol, a chemical that detects traces of blood invisible to the naked eye, investigators discovered significant blood stains throughout the premises, on walls, chairs, cabinets, and sinks. DNA analysis confirmed the blood was Joleen Cummings. This chilling discovery solidified the theory that a violent event had occurred within the confines of the salon. As the pieces of the puzzle began to fit together, the personal life of Kimberly Kessler was scrutinized. Investigators learned of her extensive history of aliases and discovered that she had been evading law enforcement for over 2 decades. This pattern of flight and identity changes painted a portrait of a woman who was perpetually running from something, perhaps her past, or even herself. The confrontation with this elusive suspect came to a head when police located Kessler sleeping in her car at a rest area and arrested her on May 16th for car theft. Upon her arrest, the layers of her false identities began to unravel, revealing her true self. 12 days before the crime happened, she had Googled incriminating searches like "coworker guilty of killing coworker," "missing person body not found," "no body, no crime." In Kessler's storage unit, police found blood, 5 license plates, 3 cell phones, and 4 wigs. Interrogations were tense. Kessler was evasive, her responses rehearsed, but the evidence was overwhelming. Feeling more and more pressed for answers about her confrontation with Cummings, she calmly said,
"So let me reply this way, and you may not like the answer. I would like legal counsel."
Born in 1968 in Butler, Pennsylvania, Kessler was a well-liked teenager who used to hang out with the popular kids. However, one day, her personality strangely and drastically changed. Suddenly, everyone started fearing her. One ex-boyfriend stated that she allegedly killed his cat with a shotgun and she stabbed him in the chest. In 2004, she vanished from her hometown, embarking on a nomadic life across the United States. Authorities pieced together Kessler's movements and discovered a pattern of short stays and sudden departures. By 2018, she had lived in 14 states, 33 cities, and assumed at least 17 aliases. The vast array of false identities raised questions about her motives and her past, suggesting that Kessler might have been involved in other criminal activities, though no direct links were ever proven. Psychologically, Kessler displayed characteristics indicative of severe antisocial personality disorder, including a lack of empathy, deceitfulness, and a disregard for the safety of others. Her ability to seamlessly integrate into new communities under false pretenses demonstrated a high level of cunning and manipulation. This behavior suggests a sophisticated understanding of social dynamics, allowing her to exploit situations to her advantage without arousing suspicion. The exposure of Kimberly Kessler's true identity and her subsequent legal proceedings captured public and media attention not only because of the brutal nature of the crime, but also due to the bizarre and mysterious life that she had been leading. On May 22, 2018, Sheriff Bill Leeper announced Kessler was being held on a $500,000 bond. She was indicted on first-degree murder charges on September 7, 2018. Her erratic behavior became more and more visible as she went on hunger strikes after authorities turned down her request to first be moved to another jail and then to a mental institution. During the whole legal process, her weight dropped from 196 to 74 pounds. The trial started in November 2021 in Nassau County, Florida. From the outset, it was fraught with tension and emotional testimonies. The evidence presented was overwhelming. Prosecutors relied heavily on the forensic evidence gathered from Tangle's hair salon, including the bloodstains that matched Joleen Cummings' DNA and the surveillance footage that depicted Kessler's actions before and after Cummings' disappearance. Additionally, the items found in Kessler's possession, such as Cummings' belongings and the suspicious purchases of cleaning supplies, played a crucial role in painting a picture of premeditation and guilt. Throughout the trial, Kessler exhibited a range of emotions, from outbursts that led her to be strapped to a restraint chair to moments of apparent indifference, which were all carefully noted by the jury and media. Notably, Kessler chose not to be present in the courtroom during the reading of the verdict, a decision that was perceived as an indicator of her detachment from the gravity of her actions. On December 9, 2021, after deliberating for just about an hour, the jury returned a guilty verdict on the basis of overwhelming circumstantial evidence. She was convicted of first-degree murder and theft, receiving a mandatory life sentence without the possibility of parole. The judge's sentencing reflected the severity of the crime and the calculated nature of Kessler's actions, emphasizing that the justice system would not tolerate such a heinous act. The case of Kimberly Kessler serves as a chilling reminder of how some evil individuals will do anything to get what they want and escape consequences from their actions. Kessler's actions led to the irreversible loss of a beloved mother, friend, and community member whose absence is still felt by all who knew her. All our prayers and thoughts go to Joleen's family.